Hey friends, welcome to The Building Code. I'm your host, Courtney Matern. Insert chirping crickets because I'm flying solo today. My best friend, Charlie Birtwhistle, isn't here. But the good news is I have two of my very favorite customers coming on board, Joe Christensen and Adam Shaeffer. They're the co-founders, besties from Cardinal Crest in Kansas City. They're going to help me do a sneak peek episode before we head to the Builder Show in a few days. Let's go ahead and get them in here. Hey, Joe and Adam, welcome back to The Building Code. It's great to see you again.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. So we were trying to count, right? Like, what is this, your 100th time on The Building Code?
100th celebration.
Yeah.
Celebration of 100 podcasts.
You should just take over as the host. I mean, Charlie's not here today, so you guys can fill in. You can help me with the banter.
Okay.
But for our listeners who don't know who you are, if they don't know who you are, tell us, introduce yourselves. Tell us about Cardinal Crest. Tell us what you're all about.
I'm going to let Adam do the intro. I'll do the
It's my specialty. Yeah. Joe and I, we make up Cardinal Crest Homes. We're a custom home builder in Kansas City area. We do all the design work in-house. We build, and soon we'll be doing all furnishings and staging in our homes. So
That's
exciting times for us.
I've toured some of your houses, and they always look super cute inside.
Did you already say?
Thank you
I'm
so
sorry.
much.
I kind of zoned out and I was focusing on my AirPods when you started doing the intro. Did you tell us 14 years in business? You probably said
14 years in business. I didn't say that, but yeah.
that. We do hopefully 12 million a year, 12 to 15 in custom homes. Have a commercial division that builds commercial construction, multifamily, ground up, retail, TIs. Have a development company now that does multifamily projects. A property management company that manages those, and the newest endeavor is we partnered with a past employee who's now a business partner, and we do site work, earthwork, which is a big deal. So I say all those companies, we have great business partners that Adam and I have partnered to make all that happen. So we've grown as different companies, and they all have different synergies to make sure the projects go well. And yeah, it's been great. It's been super fun.
That's awesome. And you two, you are best friends, right? And that's how you got started together? You met each other in college?
We're besties.
Basically brothers without the blood,
I remember when I was it wasn't introducing. I was walking with my current wife, future wife at the time. I don't know if we were engaged at the time, but we were in college, and I was walking down the street and I was talking about Adam, and I was like, oh, I looked over to the left. I was like, that's actually his house. And that is him. And he was in what he used to call his James Bond Speedo, which means it's like boxer briefs that are not like kind of short and snug. And that's all he was wearing. And he was on a coffee table, as you can imagine, dancing. So like the social media dancing thing has been around forever. Adam's always been dancing. And we looked over, and literally like all the lights off. I feel like all the lights were off, but like the light in his living room, like on him as he was doing the risky business dance. You know that.
I feel like
This is like the ultimate best friend meet cute. Like
this is like I was legit doing if you can remember, a P90X video. Like I was exercising and doing a P90X video, and then didn't we make eye contact? Did I?
Yeah, I looked over and
yeah,
I was like, Devin, that's actually Adam I've been telling you about. And he's like,
you burned so many calories that day, and you got your best friend and your future business partner out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, today I'm really glad to have you on. I think we even did this maybe last year or the year before, but we're getting ready. When this episode airs, y'all, it's just a few days before the International Builder Show in Las Vegas. And Joe is joining a panel with our founder, Dan Houghton, and some other builders. And the whole topic is hashtag no filter, builders uncensored, which I think that interested a little uncensored, right? But it's about all the hard truths about what it's like to thrive in business. Like there are a lot of, you guys have a great social media presence. You're always bringing the fun, bringing the laughs, showing off your awesome projects. And sometimes we hear like, is that real life for builders? So I thought it'd be great to have you two on to kind of dive into that, kind of give a sneak peek of the Builder Show. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your social media presence and kind of the growth you've had over the last decade, several years.
Yeah, I could start there. I know I just got done talking, but I'll let Adam fill in the gaps here.
Well, first and foremost,
time out.
Dan, Courtney, when am I going to get my invitation to be on a panel? You know?
Well, do you want to be on? I thought you were the behind the scenes guy.
Maybe you could sit on my lap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Can I please just like...
You want to have your main character moment.
Oh yeah. I'll be massaging their backs.
There you go. We'll get you. You can be the masseuse.
I thought you were like, are you the best friend role or the main character role on social media? But next time we're gonna give you your like episode.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to get a mask that looks like myself or just like a paper one, and Adam's actually going to go up and he's going to answer all the questions, but put a little mask, a little paper thing.
Perfect. We'll get a wig. It'll be great.
Yeah, we need to figure that part out. All right. Well, social media. I remember it was like. Honestly, I was living in a townhome, and this is actually shout out to Studio McGee. I remember I was living in this townhome, and we were actually officing in the basement of this townhome. So Cardinal Crest was there were only 3 of us at the time, or maybe 4. I think Adam's brother worked with us at that time, officing out of the townhome basement, no office, building homes and remodels. And I actually remember we went to college with Shay McGee and ran around in the same groups. And it had to be 10 years ago at least, because it's been 14 years of business. So probably 10, maybe 12 years ago, actually. Now I think about it, 12 years ago. And her social media just kind of really started blowing up in a different way. This was Instagram so long ago. And I was like, you know what? I need to kind of just like go in on social media. And I started it and I didn't really go all in. And then I actually read Gary Vee. He's that explosive personality. And I read his book, Crushing It. And that actually made me like, okay, I'm going to story every single day. I'm going to post whatever and anything. I will post Adam dancing and singing because he does that, half of an hour a day. So it's good. And we just started doing it organically like that. And it was actually lightning on like how fast the followers started coming and how much interaction people and the community that was being built around us. Like I remember I used to exhaust the stories. At one time, the limit of stories was a lot less than than it is now. You can do a lot more stories on Instagram than you used to be able to, but I used to exhaust that. And
hold up. Are you a bot? You've posted too many videos today.
No, seriously. I know, right? Yeah. That kind of thing would happen all the time. And it was, I think Adam and I really saw that like we were growing a community of people, and like that's when we started meeting other builders, and it just kind of slowly kept growing to that, and ended up we kind of created our own identity on social media. And like, obviously I feel like we get the most engagement sometimes of our funny videos mocking the industry or mocking ourselves. And I feel like that's what we're known for the best now, is not only do we build amazing homes that I would say are amazing for great clients, but I think we have grown this little community of like being people who are very real, who won't shy away from the realities of construction and kind of mock it in its own way. Because there's a lot of really crazy quirks about custom home building. And so we kind of highlight those because the end of the day, that's all you can do about all the things that can go wrong is laugh at it because
Yeah, you bring the comedic, you're the comedic relief in an industry that can be so serious. Is there, I mean, you are known on social media for, being real, being funny. You show more than just the beautiful before and afters. You share that too. Were you ever hesitant to kind of share some of the real side or make those jokes? Do you have any, lessons learned or regrets, or are you like all in? Has it paid off 100%?
I'm gonna let Adam talk on this one, but yes, there is. I can tell some stories. I'm gonna tell you some
I
stories.
think every day Joe and I have at least a conversation about like, are we doing the right thing? Because this is it is a difficult thing, and I'm sure tons of builders that are starting this path to get involved in social media, they're having this internal conflict daily where they're like, what is going to be my voice? What is going to be my target? And Joe and I, we've always just been like, okay, if we have to decide what we're going to be on social media, then we don't want to do that. If that does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it's always been so organic. Like we
totally.
like just sorry to cut you off. It's like Adam and I always joke, and we cut. So we actually have somebody now who helps us out with our social media, and she's been amazing. But we've given her direction. We are one take wonders. And even if the one take sucks, we're sticking with it. Like we got to move on in our lives.
I love that.
So I could go through the videos and be like, that one didn't go that well, but we didn't care. We just posted it anyway. And like that idea maybe wasn't as good as we thought, but we just went ahead and did it. Sorry.
So that was like super important for us, where it's like, hey, we're committed and we're totally all in with social media, and that's the first step, right? We're going all in, but we're not going to be someone that we aren't as human beings and as builders, because that was where we wanted to be. We wanted to show our personality, and our personalities, Joe and I's, they're goofy and somewhat fun, and so that's how it was for us. And yes, every day do we question that? Yeah, we're like, okay, it's time to start being serious and more professional.
It's also because inevitably, especially the way the followers grow and what happens, and we totally lose followers like from being this way at times. I'm not kidding. Like I've seen people who are like, you post a video that does really well, but it's really goofy, and we gain a lot of followers. But we also lose followers because sometimes people just not. It's not controversial, but it's just like it's not everyone's cup of tea. And when you are sometimes just yourself, that's going to be a result is some great like community and people connecting with it in reality. But then also it's not maybe everybody's cup of tea. And that's okay. And I think the more we've been able to get over that, the better. But we've had clients be like kind of like snide comments. I've had investors. I've had all kinds of people make kind of comments like that who don't get it and are uncomfortable with social media. And did it kind of get in my head? Yes, it totally did. And did it like stop me from posting? Yes, it totally did. Like I could think of some specific things that have happened that I was like, I'm not in the mood to post right now for the next week or so. And those posts were probably a lot of old reels or reels I made previously I hadn't posted, or like stagnant finished photos.
But and then more often than not, Joe, it's been the flip side.
Yeah,
of that.
It totally is.
We have clients that are like, we're not interviewing any other builder. We've been following you for 6 years and we know you. You and our house, we've never met, but you are Adam and Joe in our home. And everyone in our family knows Adam and Joe, and they are building our home for us.
That's the vast majority of people. And I think you didn't ask this. I don't know what question we really started on now that we're here, but I'm going to keep going with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's a fear that everybody has on social media, especially professionals. And actually what I would say is, and I think what we're highlighting is the truth of it. The fear is valid. And even that, you will get people who say things that you fear. But who cares? Freak them.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Like, some risk to showing up as yourself online.
Yeah.
I think any of us who've, experienced the internet in the last 20 years would say that there's risks, there's a downside, but the upside is kind of to your point, and something that Morgan Molitor from Construction to Style says a lot is like your vibe attracts your tribe. Like you get the clients who they know what they're signing up for. They seek you out. They respect your sense of humor and they're looking for that. Do you think on the other side too, in social media, it can kind of create this like unrealistic expectations of maybe success sometimes? Or like I've heard builders say like, gosh, like that builder, they look like they just keep starting this project and they're making so much money. And is it always that easy and successful? Do you think there's like a danger to that, falling into that trap?
The dark side of social media. The dark side of social media is that there are accounts out there, and they're still great people, but there are accounts out there who post pretty much the same project for 6 months, and they are very good at marketing that same project. And I'm not saying it's even a bad thing, but you can actually have a marketing campaign because it's marketing, and you can put off, I mean, a good marketer and someone who does this could actually sell an entire business on social media that makes it look like a massive construction company, home builder. Like, yes. And I think it's, some people have taken advantage of that. And I think eventually to their detriment, it does catch up with everybody. I think because of our brand and what we have shared and what we do share and don't share, just to Adam's point, like our clientele are very matched with our personalities. Like Adam literally came out of 2 meetings today that should have been kind of spicy meetings, and there was some spice in them. But like he was like, we have amazing clients, and I'm talking out loud, and I'm thinking it's because a big part of it is because of our social. I do think they match well with us. They're like, you know what, we are these kind of people, and we want to build with those kind of people, because building a home is so personal. I mean, if you don't get along with that person, like you said, your tribe, your vibe is your tribe. Like, if you don't vibe with that person, it's going to be a long 3 years. I say 3 because
that project's going to take extra time.
Yes.
To just like touch on what Joe was saying, that misconception, right? The builder show's coming up, and there are a lot of those personalities that on those social media pages that attend the builder show and that are all about the rainbows and sunshine, and they show just the most incredible projects. And there is, when you see these people, there's a level of intimidation, right? When people approach Joe and I, there's zero intimidation.
They're like, I can talk with these idiots.
They're like,
listen,
oh, he gets it.
See Adam with his shirt off. I could easily talk to him.
And so for us, it's like our whole goal. We wanted to recognize that what we do is incredibly difficult, and it's tough sometimes, and it is very emotional, and it is very difficult. And so our social media page, right, it's about acknowledging that, and hey, let's find some time to make it about us, and let's goof around, and let's try to find a laugh in this crazy world of building.
What do you think the benefit is of, and maybe you can give us an example too of a time where you've like had some real talk on social media of, a bad day or a mistake or a project gone wrong, and what the benefit of showing up real?
I wish I did it more. I as much as we're talking, like we like, I definitely like sit there and scroll social media like everyone, doom scroll. And then like I'll see something funny and I'll be like, this is relatable in construction in this way, and I'll save it and be like, I'm going to make a reel of that. But I remember there was a project, this was 2019 before COVID. There was a project that I was helping the super, it actually was a commercial project. It was a orthodontist office and pediatric office. And Something happened that day that was just so mind blowing. It was like your classic, like show up in the morning, line out the subcontractors, and then ask them what they're going to do. They're going to tell you. They repeated back. I was like, great. Lined out everybody else, and I was doing other things, and so I had to leave. And I came back at like right before lunch, before everyone break for lunch, and everything happened the opposite of what I said. And immediately, I think Adam and I, like, everybody's going to be pissed in that moment. Like, I'm like blaming myself, but I'm also pissed at them. And I'm like, I remember the subcontractor like just reacted really bad to me. And so I was just like, no way, I'm going to fight fire with fire today. So he started yelling, I started yelling, and it just didn't go anywhere good. I mean, it was just a bad day. And I remember, so long story short, I remember actually storying about this, like, yeah. And I remember being in my truck and just like relaying this story and being like, gosh, this sucks. And this would happen, blah, blah, blah. And it's so hard. And it was a day, the reason it like burned in my mind, there was like 50 responses within 15 minutes of other, like, I don't know, hit the algorithm right. And everybody related. And it was like, boom, 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 boom. And I still think about that because I'm like, I should share more of those times when I'm feeling that way because it was so real and raw. And so many people were like, I love you, bro. And that really sucks. And that just happened to me here. And it was super encouraging. And people were very like, just relatable, encouraging. And like, it burned in my brain because I realized how big of the community of social media is. And we forget that, like, because even with our social media now and following, I don't have that many days when I'm like, I should share it and I don't because it's really raw and kind of the raw ones are really relatable.
People forget that the keyword in social media is social, and to be social takes a person, takes human connection. I can only imagine, from the outside looking in where you are, 12 years later, Buildertrend super users, like you've had so much success, you've worked with great designers, you've got these awesome projects, and to be another contractor following you and just be, if you hadn't shared a story of something that went wrong, they could just be like, gosh, what am I doing wrong? Like this doesn't happen to Joe, this doesn't happen to Adam or some of the other successful builders. I bet they don't run behind on a project or lose their temper on a job site or have a client yell at them. But what they see on social media with you, they see like, oh, it is harder. I should keep going because it takes work.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your
the value of the value of being real and raw is its transparency, right? And what we have come to find with the clients, and currently, our business, we're working with 6 to 8 clients a year. When we're transparent, it just indirectly sparks trust in all of our clients with us. Just today, in one of those meetings that Joe referenced, one of the owners sitting across from me, and he said, yeah, on Buildertrend, I see all your daily logs and I see all the pictures you post, and I can go through them pretty easily and be like, oh, that one's for me, the homeowner. That one, he probably shouldn't have let me see. He's like, well, he like posted a picture of cracked concrete or something. And he's like, that was probably something internal. And I was like, no, man. No, it's all about transparency. We want you to see the good and the bad. And we want you to know that we're acknowledging that there was a mistake that was made. And so that's our whole deal. And if we are able to accurately portray that on social media, it just develops trust, not only with our owners, but then the builder community as well. And that goes back to that level of intimidation. When we're meeting new people and whatnot, I think it develops trust in us.
Just this conversation is highlighting something like so like strong with me is that like, so you said social media is social, and it's social, especially when you tell your story. And I know that's like a very like generic buzzword thing, like what's your story? But like think about all the great movies that are great or stories that people love to retell. It's because it's so relatable. And like, we don't even on the whole, even in the industry, I would say ourselves, like we don't there's lots of things going on in our business that I should just get on stories and just post about. And I bet you people would resonate hard with. But there's a hesitation. But that is what's really cool when social media is really firing off. And the accounts that I really like are the ones that are like that are truly showing like the creation of a business, the nitty gritty. Like that's the story. The story is the getting through the suck until it's awesome. Like that's what people want. And it, as a real person, that's really hard to share.
And
It's like, it's so weird. If builders have the courage to be vulnerable, that will invite opportunity for growth and innovation. And it doesn't seem like that should be true. But if you are vulnerable, it will invite, especially on social media. I mean, all the comments that we get, there's so many comments and so many good ideas that we're just like, oh, sweet, we're going to implement that next time. Oh, that's a different way of looking at it. Sweet. We just changed our systems and our processes, but it starts with that courage to be vulnerable.
Yeah. I think this is motivating me.
You're going to get on and you're going to have some real talk. As someone who works in marketing and is like the social media expert around here, I think we want to connect this back to like business goals and success, right? You can show up on social media as a business, or you can be marketing something and you can show yourself as really successful, but just showing up on social and having a bunch of followers isn't really what makes you successful. It's what happens when you're not online too. It's like, can you take this story you're telling and can you not just talk about it? Can you be about it? I just stole that from Dan, our CEO, was on stage yesterday, or Scott Seegert, maybe our CEO, just use that line. But you can't just talk about it on your social. You have to like be about it. You can't just talk about transparency. When you put down your phone and after you've done your reel and you've gotten your followers, what's made you successful is that story tracks. It follows through. Like you're the same characters online as offline, and your clients are happy on the other side.
So true. I love that. That I feel like, yeah, we do try to do that, but I think the other thing is like Adam said, social media has yes, we've gotten clients. Yes, we've gotten subcontractors that we really love. We really love that have connected with us. And yes, we've gotten employees. Some of our best employees found us first on social media. But then the other thing that, that Buildertrend does really well and connects everything is the sense of community. And like, here's what's wild. Our Builder 20 group that we're only in from social media. We would not have been invited for that group if Brad Levitt him and I didn't have a relationship that we were connecting with. And I remember being even part of a builder group 6 years ago now, or 5, no, maybe not that. I don't know when it was. And I messaged him. I was like, dude, I've been trying to join a Builder 20 group. You got any room in there? And he's like, I just barely joined. Give me a second and I'll let you know. And like that Builder 20 group has changed our business. And then all the community, I mean, IBS, the builder show, a big part of the reason we go is for the community. And I totally walk away learning stuff from the smallest builder that comes and talks to us. Like I say small, but like, someone who's just starting out. Like I love this. I love meeting builders and hearing what they're doing and like what they're struggling with, because it's super relatable. And I feel like we learn a lot even from the remodeler who just starting out, and it was us 14 years ago. And so the builder show has really turned into a big community show. And I feel like it's a huge part of social media, connecting those relationships online to in person. And since we kind of know each other from a distance, we kind of seal that friendship, in person. And then we could just share very openly about our businesses and how to get better.
I love that. Gives me a natural plug. My favorite part about the builder shows, it's not very often, like we work behind the scenes at the tech company, right? Like we make our calls and on our computers, but we get to see our customers in real life, IRL. So we get to see you all, and on in our booth at the Buildertrend booth. If you're coming to the show on Monday and Tuesday, Tuesday and Wednesday we have happy hours in the booth. And Wednesday is our Meet the Pros. So if any listeners want to come meet Adam and Joe in real life, head to the Buildertrend booth and check out. We'll link it in the show notes. We'll link information for your session so you can everybody can get some more information on like your session, No Filter, where we'll talk more about social, where Dan will be interviewing you. But Charlie's not even here to like make a joke about me bringing the fun, but I'm going to do it.
Charlie.
I know. We'll have to tell him you guys really missed him, or we'll tell him that, I won. I'm the favorite host. You requested me. Yeah.
We're just fine without him.
But let's play a game. We're going to play In or Out, the social media edition. Some of these will be old, so I don't know. Maybe some of them are out, but we'll ask you. So In or Out, guys, selfies.
In?
You really had to think about that. Do you post a lot of selfies?
I mean, selfie perspective in, duck lips and jawbones out.
Out. No more duck lips. Okay, so before and after photos.
Oh, in always. They're cool. If you do them right, like before and after videos are just cool.
Well, and they're like a dopamine hit, like an instant. Like
those will always be in. You can't that's what's cool. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we create stuff. We got to show what it was before.
Throwback Thursday.
Oh, I don't really do it. I like the idea, but I don't do it very often. It's kind of.
It's old. Scratch that from our social calendar. No, it's out. Joe and Adam.
It's out now.
It's out. We're done.
I just had like a visual like Zorro.
Yes, that's a show I watched. We were talking to old TV. That was Nick at Night, though.
I did like Nick at Night.
Nick at Night. What about AI on social? Anything AI generated on social?
Okay, guy's awesome. ChatGPT is insane, but I don't use it for social. Like, I think that kind of gets away from what we talked about being raw. Like, but you could organize it. Use AI to organize. I think AI captions are kind of weird, but in and out.
In and out. Give me a side of fries with that. Facebook.
Oh.
Is anyone still on Facebook?
And our listeners?
I go on Facebook. I mean, that's just the way it is. Like
my username or password.
So your great aunt can still get, updates on your career.
It's pretty out, but like the platform itself is like has to be used with Instagram because they know it's out and they want to try to bring you back in. And so I feel like I go on there because of like integration with Instagram, but Facebook, yeah.
What about trend hopping? Like when you see someone do a reel and then you copy it.
That's fun. I like it.
You like it? Imitation's the best form of flattery.
Who did it better?
Yeah,
it's a competition.
Yeah, like a fight. Like, hey, I can do that. I can do that dance.
All right, that's all the social media ins and outs that I have today. Are there any trends I didn't hit on? Anything like what's your hot take on social right now?
I mean, you said trends, but like we never did like a trend dance. I don't know if that's still even a thing.
Oh, like the ice bucket challenge? Did you do the ice bucket challenge?
No, we didn't. I mean, so when I thought trends, those are bigger trends. We definitely like other people will post an audio that's like trending, and I'm like, that's a funny audio to this thing. So we'll like jump on that trend, but we never do like trend, dance stuff. Do kids still do that? Like if there's like a popular dance one and then like all of them do that?
Oh yeah. I have a 9-year-old and it's all like TikTok dances. I think that based on, our intro story about Adam's dance, how you met, your meet cute.
Yeah.
We need to see an Instagram reel now that's, a reenactment. For Throwback Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that. You're gonna have to pull out that James Bond Speedo.
Oh, bro, I've put on some pounds since then.
No, even better.
Before we wrap up the episode, because we're having so much fun and I want to keep the fun going when people come to the booth or come to your panel at IBS, This episode's pre-Super Bowl. You're in Kansas City. You're also wearing matching like Chiefs thing because you're besties. No, you said you had the Red Friday on at
Red
work.
Friday.
Do you want to make
Yep.
any predictions? You think? Well, do you think Taylor will show up? Think Taylor?
And
He's got to convince the refs to throw the game.
Are you going to the game, or do you like watch from home and have a Super Bowl party?
was Super Bowl party. I kind of wish I was going to the game. I kind of thought like, are Chiefs fans tired of Super Bowl? Maybe this is my year to go.
There might be some seats, some tickets. Yeah. All right. Well, good luck to the Chiefs, and I can't wait to see you guys in Vegas. Thanks so much for coming back on the Building Code for, the 100th time. We appreciate you.
It was so good, even the 100th time. It's like
we love you.
Feels like the first time.
Can we put that audio in the podcast?
Exit that song.
So many, trademark risks that we're making. The legal team is going to be on my case. But thanks again, guys. We'll see you in Vegas.
It's been a pleasure.
See you later. Builder Show.
Got to give another big shout out to Joe and Adam from Cardinal Crest. Just had them on to do our sneak peek of No Filter, Builders Uncensored with the hard truths about thriving in business. Our panel at IBS. As a reminder, if you're headed to Vegas to go to the International Builder Show, make sure you come check out the Buildertrend booth. I'll be there. Hopefully Charlie shows up because I know that he's your favorite. And make sure that you come check out Joe's session and everything we've got going on. You can head to the show notes, get a free pass for the expo. If you're not coming out to the show, follow along on social media. We'll be sharing all of the highlights. And as always, remember to rate and review and subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, I'm Courtney Matern.